Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play SimCity. On the last video, I went ahead and tried to get as far as I could in the practice city in terms of population, just to kind of show how we can squeeze in some population into the city. Also, you don't really have to get 100,000, I think 30,000 is your goal. But I wanted to see if I can get 100,000 in here anyways, because in the manual it actually says that you'll never be able to get much past 100,000 in this city. Actually, someone on the internet, on YouTube, was able to get to 175,000 people on this practice city, and I'll try to link to that video in the description. I think it's kind of interesting what the strategy was that they did, but I'm not going to try to do that. I think we're about ready to try to see if we can get the population a little higher than skip ahead, I think. So I'm going to lower the taxes to 0% and try to explain what's going to happen with that. This will put a higher demand on everything. But since we have enough money in our account as it is right now, $47,000, and I'm not going to build anything else, this will kind of maximize the population a little bit, and we'll see what we can do with that. So, let's see what happens. Alright, we're not going to get very many more people in this city, so I'm going to... Yeah, I know, some people have been asking me about why I'm pausing the game every now and then. I actually have a good explanation for that, and I'll explain it when we start the next city. But first of all, I'm going to take a look at this city one more time. Let's look at the map a little bit before we move on, because we're going to say bye-bye to this city. Pollution is okay. I mean, you can have pollution in the industrial zones, but I wanted to show kind of land values to show what happens there. Land values are usually going to be higher towards the center of the map. We got lower land values here where the industrial zones are. So that's interesting. And you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun. Some of these disasters you'll see in them in the scenarios, but some of them you won't. We've got a fire, we got a tsunami or flood, we got a plane crash, and a few other things. So some of these you'll see, some of these you won't. I'll show you a plane crash. Let's find the plane first. Whoops, let's actually speed up the game. So that's what a plane crash does. So it's just gonna, wherever your plane is, it's gonna crash. So there you go. The other disaster, which we're not gonna see in a scenario, is a tornado. So let's show you what a tornado is. Tornadoes are pretty bad disasters because they can rip up a lot of your city. And what's neat is if it's over water, it'll actually be a water spout. And if we can actually see it over land, which it may not do. Now they can kind of whirl around here. This one's just going to go in one direction. Oh, here we go. It's going to destroy something, which is fine. See, as it gets over land, it'll destroy a little bit. And it's going to destroy this power line, so... And it's actually going to destroy a couple of... Whoa, it's going to go right for the R-top. Take a look. Let's see what happens. And there we go. That's kind of what happens, so... Let's see what happens if you don't have a fire department. I'm going to let this tornado just rip through. I'm not really concerned about a fire at this point, but if you don't have a fire department, then the fires can kind of get out of control, but they didn't in this case, so... I think that does it for this as far as this practice mode goes, so let's go ahead and see what we can do with the new city. So I'm going to go to the menu, and we're not going to save this city. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a new city. And when we do that, we can get a map select screen, and there are actually 1,000 maps that you can choose from. There's a key, well, a button sequence that you can press to get an alternate set of maps, but we're not going to worry about that. The map we're going to go for is, guess what? We're going to go for map 61. This is actually the best map that you can choose in terms of odds for Megalopolis. Simply because, and Megalopolis, I mean a population of 500,000. And this map is simply the best map that you can choose out of the entire gambit of 2,000 maps, simply because it has the most land in it. As you can see, as you can remember rather, in our practice city we didn't have enough room to really build past 100,000 very much. So in this city, or in this landform, however, we have a lot more land and very little water. We can't build on water, so this is very useful. So I'm going to use this map. And what are we going to call this name of the city? We're going to call it my YouTube channel name. Why not? I mean, I could think of something really silly, but I'm not going to do that. Also, we have different game levels here. Not only do they determine how much money you start with in the beginning, they determine how much traffic you get, how much tax revenue you get rather, and they also determine how often disasters happen. Hard disasters are going to happen very frequently. Your tax revenue is going to be very limited, and frankly, I just want to get 500,000 people or Megalopolis, so I'm going to go with easy. It really doesn't affect your gameplay that much. I just don't want to have to deal with a lot of disasters and cleanup and things like that. So, and besides, in the scenarios you're going to see disasters, we're going to deal with them. So there's no point to that. Let's just build our city unfettered and have a little bit of fun. So let's go with 20,000. And here we've got a nice area here. And you can see here that'll show you right here in the map screen where this little quadrant is. It'll show the map number that we've got, 61. And this doesn't have a whole lot of water to it. There's actually, you can see in the map screen, or sorry, in the total screen, you can see how much is, well, it hasn't initialized yet, but you'll see in a second. I've got to initialize it. So yeah, pretty good. I think we can start out for this. I don't know where I'm going to start, which corner first, but I'd like to use some of this water. So I'm going to build a nuclear power plant here. And we're only going to start with one for now. I think it's fine. And I'm going to have 3 units wide here. We're going to have a little bit of rail. And I'm also going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to do the 2x2, well, the 2x2 grids, for the n×2 grids anyways. And we're going to expand it out a little bit. And this is where I'm going to put a few nuclear power plants here. I'm also going to put them in other corners of the map. But for now, this will work. So there you go. Let's put in another row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plop. And let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. Let me expand this just a little bit further. And this is a little bit further too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plop. And there you have it. So next we want to do, what we want to do here is I'm just going to put a little bit of power lines here. They're cheap, so we want to make sure everything's connected. And maybe just another connection over here. That works for now. And we're going to slowly expand our city over time and bulldoze zones and change zones out, so don't worry about that too much. I want to put maybe one fire department out for now, just so people won't complain. And since we're near a corner of a city, let me make sure the fire department was in the right location. And it isn't, so no big deal. It's just 500 simoleons. We can get that money back, no problem. We're going to have to deal with crime kind of in the middle of the city, so the best thing to do probably would be to put a police station not towards the edge, but maybe right here, so it gives a little bit of coverage. So that's not too bad. That's a good idea. You want some coverage for your police station. Whoops. Mistakes are going to happen, so don't worry about them. And another zone there will work nice there. Okay, I'm going to expand this out just a little bit further. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to have some people move in already, so that's nice. put in a few more industrial and commercial zones. And another police department up here, because crime is going to be bad in an industrial zone. And maybe a few more commercials. I don't want to put the residentials next to commercials, obviously. I'm sorry, residentials next to industrial zones, because that's not very good. Residential zones aren't... I mean, people aren't going to want to move next to pollution and all that fun stuff, so... And it doesn't have to be exact. And I didn't pause it this time. I was also going to mention why sometimes I pause it. It's just so that changes I can make can be kind of clean, so you can see exactly how changes affect the game. If I didn't pause it, then it's hard to tell how new zones, new gifts, and whatnot are going to change the population and demand and all of that fun stuff. So it gives me a clean break, which is very useful, I think. And this video won't be as long as the last video. Let me redo this. Yeah, we're getting some zones here. So. And we're slowly running out of money, so I'm going to change this a little bit. We need a police department up here, or something, to kind of have a little bit of police protection. It helps for the Sims. They want some sort of police protection, so you might as well give it to them. Okay, and there we go. Alright, so I think we're ready to kind of expand our city out a little bit. We already hit town, so that's nice. We've already seen that message, so if you want to read it again, just pause it. And here we've already got a few uppers and highs developing over here, which is nice. And these white houses here are already high. So, we got a house, so let's go put that out here somewhere. I'm gonna put the house right here. Well, I'd rather put it closer to... Yeah, I'd rather put it closer to the center of the town, so I don't have to delete it later. Okay, I think we're ready to kind of expand the city out a little bit and see what we do, but let's first look at the tax screen a little bit. Okay, our taxes are okay, and we can look at the budget screen later, but right now I'm going to go into auto budget mode. And let's see what Dr. Wright says. So he's talking about housing costs. Okay. And by the way, if you're curious, under the total screen, let me show this again now that it's initialized. We've got park area, forest area, open land area, and water area. So water area is very low at 14%, and that's really nice. So, and here in the voice menu or voice screen, you can kind of see what people are thinking about. Taxes is a problem, housing costs is a problem. So gives our category, town, population, and assessed value, all that fun stuff. So I think we're ready to kind of expand the city out a little bit and see what happens. So let me speed through it and we'll find out. Okay, we're now at city. Great. And I skipped over the bank, so I'm probably not going to even place the bank. It's not really that useful. Okay, I'm going to stop it right now, and just to show you, you can kind of see how the population changed. It was kind of a fugoid pattern. It went, well, it kind of oscillated a little bit more than a fugoid pattern, but I just wanted to show that. Now, of course, we've got the bank here, which I'm not going to use, and Seaport is 5,000 simoleons, but Stadium is the first cap that we're going to need to remove, so I am going to put the Stadium somewhere. Oh, and funnily enough, this zone needs some transportation, and it didn't have transportation, so let's put the Stadium somewhere. It really doesn't matter where we put it, so I'm just going to put it here for now. And let's put a little parkland here. I'm going to put some parkland on the edge. Parkland is actually going to become very important soon, because we can actually get gifts from that. And we can actually get gifts from schools as well. So, I'm going to play the game a little bit further and show you how the stadium affects everything. And then, I'll get to a stopping point, so... Oh, at first we got a zoo here, so... if you get a stadium, you can get a zoo, so... That's nice. I'll put the zoo up later. I'm not going to deal with it now. Alright, I think this is a good time to stop it, so I'm going to put the game speed on pause, and I think what I'm going to do is let you look at the city one last time. We'll take a look at the map screen. And you'll see the land value it's increasing, which is nice. The crime, there's a little bit of crime over here. We'll deal with that later. You can see there's a police department right here. You can actually take a look at it here. You can see where the crime rate is pretty bad near this, which is kind of funny that it's near the police station, but we can alleviate that. So that's one problem we're going to have to deal with. Pollution, I don't really care about right now. You're going to have to deal with pollution, so just deal with it. So land value is good. Of course, you don't have to deal with anything there. Population density is pretty good, and growth. That's going to be a little, stable right now. So I think this is good enough stopping point. So thank you so much for watching Let's Play SimCity, and on the next episode, we're going to see how much further we can get with our city. So thanks again for watching, and have a good day. Bye.